What's up, everybody? Jacob Rothenberg here. Want to give you a different kind of keyword lesson on this video series for today. And it's not going to be even really keyword related. What we're going to talk about is more of a mindset or an approach oriented flaw that I think a lot of publishers encounter. And I think it's really the barrier between success and failure with self-publishing. And what exactly I'm talking about is publishing the minimum. And what we want to talk about today is how to avoid publishing the minimum. So what exactly am I talking about? What does publishing the minimum really mean? Basically, in my opinion, it means publishing content that meets the minimum requirements to compete with existing titles. So if you have a dog training book that you're wanting to publish because you see 4 other guides on dog training books, and you see that maybe one book has 200 pages, another has 130, and you see the third one has 160. You decide to publish another 140-page book in the field, and it's of average cover design. It doesn't really stand out from anything, but you kind of like put your chip out, you put your entree out for your entry, rather, not your entree, your entry out for a keyword with your book. So it's kind of like not really playing luck on your side to make sales, but you're leaving things out in the open for customers to decide, okay, which book do I want to pick? Why would someone buy your book when it's exactly the same in essence from the 4 other books before it? I mean, it looks like everyone else's. There's nothing remarkable or differentiating. It's just another dog training book that like meets the minimum standards of like competing against the other dog training books, but there's nothing really too special about it. It's just another dog training book. So, it might get some sales upon launch. Amazon, I think, with part of its algorithm, does favor newer published titles, so it might get that rank boost temporarily, but after maybe 2 or 3 months, it's likely to die off and not really make sales for you anymore. So that's not good, right? You want sales that can sustain, that can develop for you a passive income. So all the factors to consider with the quality of your book overall, and this is not in order necessarily, but some things to consider and think about. Okay, number 1, and for a lot of new publishers, I think it's really important to make this number 1, just so that you can emphasize your focus on this, is the page length of your book. Okay? Publishers starting out, they get into this game thinking, okay, I was told apparently it's really easy to start Kindle publishing and I can start with $5 or $10. Then you realize, oh, I got to outsource my book. But I don't want to spend too much. I want to spend $150, okay? And even through the cheapest writing company possible, $150 gets you a 10,000 word book. Now, are there cases when it's appropriate to publish a 10,000 word book? Absolutely. I'm not saying you shouldn't, but if you are looking at titles that seem to have like 160 pages, 200 pages, that's not 160 pages. You're not looking at 10,000 word books. That's more around the vicinity of 18,000 to even 20,000 words, depending on the formatting and stuff and the trim size. But other than that, you don't want to skip out on your page length on your book. So it never does you harm with going longer in page length than shorter when you're placing your order. So, I mean, starting out, I know you're trying to test the waters, but minimum page book length as of now with publishing, last year we would used to say 12,000. This year I say minimum 14,000 if you're doing like a traditional nonfiction book. Now if you're doing a children's book or maybe like a fiction-ish children's book where it's a shorter guide or puzzle book, okay, you can compromise there. But still, traditional nonfiction book, go long. Cover quality. Is your cover obviously something you outsource on Fiverr, or does it look somewhat professional? You should be able to tell because people judge their books that they buy by its cover, despite what you're told on the contrary, not to judge a book by its cover. People judge a book by its damn cover. So, just make sure, hey, maybe you don't like a cover design that you bought, ask for it to be revised. Or give some creative direction on the artwork, on even maybe the actual image you want featured in the cover, and give some overall outline of how you want the cover to be set up or with its formatting. Okay, that's something you can do within your control. The next one is a little bit more intermediate, but it's something I want you to think about. The uniqueness of your title and subtitle for a given keyword that you're looking to publish for. Now, why is this important? Yes, absolutely. In terms of staying relevant to the keyword you're ranking for, you need that keyword in your title. But is there any way you can spin the angle on making it unique from other existing books within the keyword or niche that you're looking to publish for? Let's say you're doing dog training books, okay? Let's say we wanted to do different pets because you notice, hey, these are all really general dog training books, but what I've noticed is that a lot of these customers from the reviews state that they have pit bulls more often than not. So why don't I create a dog training book title for pit bulls, subtitle, something like that. And you span your book strategy around dog training for pit bulls. And that's something that will make you different and special in the keyword, and you will be much more likely to get sales than a general dog training book, at least as of right now. And last, I wasn't even going to really bring this up, but it has to still be brought up. The number of views is something you have to consider too for your book, to a lesser extent. Okay, now I know this firsthand, reviews don't really mean that much anymore. Not as much as you probably think right now. So I can tell you candidly, I don't really ever go beyond 20 reviews anymore. I have a book that's doing at least $30 to $50 a day with 9 reviews right now. And the other one I think has, 20 reviews? And that does great for me. The most number of reviews you ever really need is 30. And that's just because reviews sometimes go away after time. So, am I saying you should publish a book with 0 reviews? No, I'm not saying that. But, still go through the review gathering process. Get reviews, but don't try to kill yourself over getting 50, 70, or even 100 reviews. Just go for 10 to 20, all you need. And now, so we've mentioned components of what needs to be done for a book to be different in terms of minimum requirements, but what our customers really want when we're breaking it down. What are they looking for that'll get you sales? Number 1, amazing content. Okay, even though people will say, hey, but no one's buying a book for its content upon the first click. They're just looking at the cover, title, and book description, and maybe with the price. That is true. However, you will get dinged inevitably with 1-star reviews if your book sucks. So, don't play that game. In the long run, what I've observed and noticed now that I'm almost 2 years into self-publishing is that amazing content over the long run prevails. So, make sure your book is not just with a unique angle, but get it done by a qualified writer. Whether that means finding someone qualified properly on Upwork, or maybe even paying for the more expensive package on the Urban Writers or any other writing company for publishing books. Go ahead, just go for it. Why not? It might cost you a little bit more in the short term, but think of the long-term sales that'll come as a result of that. Okay? Now, this is arbitrary because when we say you need a good page length, that could be anywhere from 6,000 words versus the 3,000 word children's books you might be looking at, or you might need 20,000 words for the book you're looking to compete at for a given keyword. If you're doing travel guides, okay, you might need 40,000 words to be relevant or to be of, competitive nature relative to other travel guides in such a keyword. So you want to make sure you have a good page length. Try to exceed existing competitors, and if not, try to just be on the same level. If it's something where you're going to break the bank competing against a 250-page book, try to be another 250-page book, but focus on the other factors that can make you different or better. Better cover, better content, better book description, maybe even a slightly lower price or a fair price, whatever it takes, okay? So just think overall about what you need to improve on. And of course, this last one, customers really want a unique reading or listening experience to an issue, problem, or concern that they might have. So, how many books have we gone through that you don't really remember of, okay? Or you read something that you say has changed your life. Okay, people love content that is either, if not life-changing, at least impactful and memorable. So try to have a reading experience set up for your customer, or listening experience thanks to ACX that is memorable at the very least. So putting it all together, to sum it up, what do you need to do? Number one, publish longer books. I've already harped on this. I'm not going to say any more about that. Number two, find a good cover designer. I will be totally transparent and admit, for the good first 12 to 14 months of my self-publishing career, journey, hobby, full-time gig now, I was only using $5 covers on Fiverr, because I figured, hey, no one can really tell how much I spent for a cover. And, I've had success doing that too. My first 12 to 14 months, if we started from January, I reached $4,000 in December of 2017 as my high point. So can you be successful with $5 covers? Absolutely, of course. But if you want to get into more competitive niches, competitive keywords, a $5 cover will stick out as being bad in comparison to other competitors you might be facing. So, hey, it doesn't cost that much more to get a much better cover design than a $5 cover. Spend $15 on your cover, maybe even $20. You will notice a difference, hopefully, in the effort, sophistication, and the overall quality of your design. So just give it a shot. And remember, long-term sales over your short-term expenditures, or rather your investment with a cover. It's an investment that'll get you long-term results in terms of sales, okay? Always something to consider. And last, this is really what I want to stress here, and I've always been stressing this in my channel, is you need to put effort into formulating the strategy, not just behind your book's title, but what is it all about? What's it focusing on? Who's it for? What's going to make it different from everyone else? Because I'm just totally sick of making this mistake. I haven't done it anymore, but you don't want to be the 30th guide on CBD. Why? Because there's already 29 guides on CBD. No one will want to buy yours, or how will they even find yours if it's the same as everyone else's? Unless you're using AMS, everyone's just going to go to the CBD guide that's either rank 1 or page 1. So you want to be unique. You want to catch a customer's eye as to why they should buy your title. So that's it, guys. That's all I've got for tonight. Today, whenever you're seeing this video, we will have more lessons coming soon. If you like this, be sure to hit subscribe first, then like, leave me a comment below, and I'd love to answer your questions. Till then, see you later.